For over 2 decades, NCIS has remained one of television's most enduring and beloved franchises. What started as a backdoor pilot on JFJ in 2003 has evolved into an empire, spawning multiple spin-offs that have taken fans across the globe, from the sun-drenched streets of Los Angeles to the vibrant culture of New Orleans, the tropical intrigue of Hawaii, and even all the way to Australia with NCIS, Sydney. But while NCIS, Los Angeles, and NCIS, New Orleans each earned their moment in the sun, one spin-off never quite got the recognition it deserved. Now, with the franchise experiencing a resurgence thanks to the upcoming NCIS Origins and the return of NCIS Sydney for Season 2, it's time to revisit NCIS New Orleans, the hidden gem of the franchise that fans might have overlooked. If you skipped NCIS New Orleans when it first aired, you're missing out on a spin-off that had all the heart, action, and intrigue of the flagship series while offering a unique Southern charm that set it apart from its predecessors. Whether you're a longtime NCIS fan or someone looking for a fresh take on the franchise, here's why NCIS New Orleans deserves a second chance. A lead character unlike any other in the NCIS universe. While NCIS has had its fair share of charismatic leaders, Gibbs, Mark Harmon, Callan, Chris O'Donnell, and Pride, Scott Bakula, it's the latter who truly made NCIS New Orleans stand out. Dwayne Cassius Pride, played masterfully by Scott Bakula, was not just another stoic leader with a military past. Unlike Gibbs, whose gruff exterior masked his deep emotional scars, or Callan, who was often a mystery even to himself, Pride was an open book. He was passionate about his city, fiercely protective of his team, and carried an undeniable warmth that made him feel more like family than a boss. Pride's deep connection to New Orleans wasn't just a backdrop, it was integral to his character. He wasn't just solving crimes, he was preserving the soul of a city he loved. From his love of jazz to his willingness to bend or break the rules to protect his people, Pride was a leader unlike any other in the NCIS universe. If you appreciated Gibbs' leadership but wished for a boss who showed more vulnerability and heart, Pride was your guy. His journey through NCIS New Orleans was one of the most compelling arcs in the franchise, balancing duty with personal struggles in a way that felt refreshingly real. A unique setting that felt like a character itself. One of the biggest criticisms of procedural dramas is that they can feel interchangeable. The same offices, the same generic city backdrops, and the same dimly lit interrogation rooms. NCIS New Orleans shattered that mold by fully immersing itself in the culture of its setting. New Orleans wasn't just where the show took place, it was part of its DNA. The city's rich history, vibrant music scene, and unique blend of cultures made every episode feel distinct. Whether it was an investigation that led to the Bayous, a case tied to Mardi Gras celebrations, or a deep dive into the city's political corruption, NCIS New Orleans made sure its stories reflected the heart and soul of its location. The team's headquarters, the NCIS field office, housed in an old, repurposed bar, was a perfect reflection of the city's charm, gritty yet full of character. Compare that to the high-tech, often sterile offices of the other NCIS teams, and you'll see why NCIS New Orleans stood out. For fans who enjoy shows that feel embedded in their settings, like Justified in Kentucky or Longmire in Wyoming, NCIS New Orleans offers a similar experience. A team dynamic that felt like family. Every NCIS spinoff has had its share of memorable team dynamics, but NCIS New Orleans might have had the most authentic sense of camaraderie. Unlike the often strained relationships seen in NCIS Los Angeles or the revolving door of agents on NCIS itself, the New Orleans team felt like a real family. Christopher LaSalle, Lucas Black, was the heart of the team, a loyal, tough-as-nails investigator who had one of the strongest bonds with his boss, Pride. Dr. Loretta Wade, CPH Pounder, brought wisdom and warmth as the team's medical examiner, often serving as a mother figure to the group. Sebastian Lund, Rob Kirkovich, the awkward yet brilliant forensic scientist, provided much-needed comic relief while growing into a capable field agent. Tammy Gregorio, Vanessa Furlito, the skeptical outsider-turned-loyal team member, added an intriguing dynamic with her FBI background. Each character had layers and storylines that evolved naturally, making them feel more than just coworkers. They were family. This bond was tested repeatedly, especially after the heartbreaking loss of LaSalle in Season 6, a moment that still resonates with fans as one of the most emotional in NCIS history. The most underrated villains and story arcs in the franchise